The story of how Israel detected, discovered, and ultimately destroyed a nuclear reactor in Syria in 2007 is, in my opinion, the stuff of legends. It combines espionage, intelligence, political courage, diplomatic intrigue, and military might all together in one condensed story. And it also is the Israeli story of what lengths it's willing to go to ensure the continued survival of the Jewish state and to prevent its enemies, in this case Syria, from getting its hands on a weapon that could potentially pose an existential threat to the continued existence of the state of Israel. But if there's one moment, I would say, it's when Prime Minister Olmert came to Washington, D.C., brought the intelligence and presented it to the President of the United States at the time, George W. Bush, and asked Bush to carry out the attack, and made an argument of why it was important that the United States do this attack. Bush thought about it, set up different groups within his administration to debate the options, to consider different plans. But ultimately, in July of 2007, Bush called up Olmert and told him that he had made his decision and it was not to attack. His decision was going to be that he wanted to send his Secretary of State, Condoleezza Rice, to Jerusalem. He called Olmert on a Friday, said, I'll send Rice on Monday to Jerusalem. You and her will hold a press conference in Jerusalem. You'll reveal the existence of this reactor to the world, and then we'll take it to the Security Council at the United Nations. We'll impose sanctions, and if they don't dismantle the reactor, then we'll reserve the right, we, the United States, to attack. And Olmert, on that phone call, had two options. He could have said, no problem, Mr. President, I'll go with you, right? After all, he had the President of the United States who said to him, Mr. Prime Minister, I have your back. I'll take care of it. But instead, he chose a different route, which was to say to the President of the United States, Mr. President, that is unacceptable. I have to ensure the continued survival of the Jewish people. I carry that burden on my shoulders, and this reactor has to be destroyed, and if you won't do it, I will do it. And that took, in my opinion, courage to stand up to the President of the United States, who offered him an option. But it also showed just how important this mission really was for Israel. This could have gone differently. It could have led to a severe crisis between Israel and the United States, Israel's closest friend. But at the risk of that happening, Olmert, who you could have criticism of, understood his place in history and in time at that exact moment, and in my opinion, made the right decision.